From an undisclosed location in North America, you are watching Card to Card. In this episode of Card to Card, we're going to be talking about the monster of Partridge Creek. Now, this is a MetaZoo first edition UFO set card, which kind of interesting that it's in the UFO set, being like looks like a ice monster creature. But got me curious, what in the world is the monster of Partridge Creek? What was the deal with this card? Artwork, very good artwork there by Kelsey Giacchino. Looks like there's some sort of alien thing in that ice cube. Anyway, so what's the deal here? What was the monster of Partridge Creek? Well, in 1908, there was a French writer, and his name was Georges Dupuy. He wrote a book about this alleged encounter with a large dinosaur, and this was at Partridge Creek, which is in the Yukon Territory of Canada. And here's what allegedly took place. There was a banker, his name was James Lewis Butler, and a miner, not a kid miner, a miner that goes and digs for coal or whatever, Tom Leemore. They were out hunting moose. So they were following this herd of moose, and the moose just all of a sudden started scattering off, ran off like they were frightened. And the two hunters, they went to investigate what was going on, and they found these large tracks that were clearly made by some sort of large animal. So the tracks eventually led to a deep rocky gorge, and the men abandoned that search. But they decided to bring out an expedition team to kind of look for whatever made these tracks. And one of those people that went on this expedition was the guy that wrote the book, the French writer Georges Dupuy. So, while the search party was near that Partridge Creek, they saw a 30-foot, this is how they described it, 30-foot long, hairy creature that they interpreted as a Ceratosaurus. Okay, you're probably wondering, what in the world is a Ceratosaurus, and why would it be hairy? It was some sort of dinosaur. The men reported their findings, and they were laughing stocks at the time there in Canada. However, there were additional sightings of this creature in the early 1900s. And we actually have an artist, this is an artist rendition of this creature. And this is from the book that Georges Dupuy wrote. So again, guys, when I show stuff like this, viewer discretion is advised. Sometimes it's scary stuff. This is what Georges Dupuy said they saw. And that is definitely a dinosaur-looking creature if I've ever seen one. Now, they thought it was a Ceratosaurus. Now, I do have a artist. This is a really nicely drawn artist rendition of the Ceratosaurus. And you tell me, is this the same creature? It looks pretty similar. That is a really cool-looking dinosaur. And, there's no mistaking. That's a dinosaur. So it's not like these guys were out there and saw like a alligator, a big alligator or something, or a Sasquatch or something. It was a dinosaur. So it's kind of hard for them to misidentify something that big and that different looking. So what did these men see? Was it an actual dinosaur? What, guys, in the comments, I would love to hear, what do you think that these people saw? If it was a dinosaur, how did it survive up there all these years? And guys, Canada, this is not a tropical region. This is a cold area. How could a dinosaur even survive in that? Unless we just don't know how dinosaurs, their metabolisms work. We kind of think of them as lizards. Maybe they could have been warm-blooded for all we know. Could they have mistaken it for some other creature? I don't have a clue. The only thing I can think of is the closest thing we have to a dinosaur today, we have some large lizards that people see sometimes by rivers and stuff, but nothing to that scale. There's been 30-foot long crocodiles and alligators before, and I guess if they're far away, maybe they look like they're hairy. But I will say, if you look at this Ceratosaurus, this artist rendition, I definitely think it does kind of look hairy the way this dark area on it is kind of his colorings there. So I could see how from a distance you might think, or these expedition people thought that it was hairy. Okay, so we do have a video, I'm told, of a Ceratosaurus. Believe it or not. Okay, let's go ahead and roll it. Okay, so that is the Ceratosaurus from Jurassic Park. But as you can see, you could see that thing being 30 foot long, and it looks like it has hair, even though it's just the colorings of its skin. But really interesting. So look, this is the part of the video where we take a closer look at the artwork. Again, Kelsey Giacchino did this art. Definitely looks like he's in a climate that is icy. It has like a different look to it than what I would think of Ceratosaurus. I don't understand what this is. Maybe it's tie-in since it's in the UFO set, if it's some sort of UFO relic or something. But this story had nothing to do with UFOs. It was just a bizarre creature that these guys saw. It does say the date of birth, 1908, Partridge Creek, Canada. So definitely we're talking about the same creature sighting. Flavor text, it says, as I mess with this camera, this beastie catches unsuspecting prey off guard in the Canadian cold. It lures in hunters by making fresh tracks in the snow. Now, I don't know if they said that they were hunting the moose in the snow, but they could have been, I guess. It didn't say snow. But really interesting, guys. What do you guys think of the monster of Partridge Creek? And I think, hey, if you're up in the wild north,